You know, there are two things in this world that will never end: life and death, and the fact that Harman Smith will never ever get over From Software. Yeah, it's another Harman Smith video, him coping and seething over From Software, comparing them to a different company that does the similar things, and how they saying that the Nintendo owned studio does this 1,000 times better. And let's be honest here for a quick second, are we really surprised that Harman's doing this comparison between Monolith and From Software? No, not really. Anything that's got like an open world where you attack monsters or bosses, he's going to immediately make that make that connection to Elden Ring and how FromSoftware is even worse than freaking Nintendo-owned studio. They can never have the same quality as this Nintendo studio. But anyway, you guys aren't here for all that nonsense I'm spewing out right now. You guys are here for Harman Smith's interesting take on From Software being a worse studio than Monolith. So please make sure to go grab yourself a nice little drink and a nice little snack, and we're just going to go ahead and dive right into that content.
It's really interesting seeing how things have changed over the past couple of years.
And yet you still have the same shitty opinion about Elden Ring and From Software. But hey, things really don't change after all, don't they?
You know, I went from being a huge advocate for FromSlop,
That's rich. Go on.
Genuinely appreciating the fact that they were pushing out games that people genuinely enjoyed, that weren't cutscene driven, that did have lesser quality graphics, that were gameplay first.
Harman, they've been doing that for God knows how long, ever since they've probably been making the first Souls game. They've always been gameplay first.
You know, I was very supportive of FromSlop back in the Dark Souls days.
Harman, we all know that's BS. We all know you're straight up lying. You've hated From Software from the absolute beginning. You've even admitted this multiple times in your videos and your streams. Do I even need to pull those old videos up where you said that you disliked them ever since they first came onto the scene? Do I really need to pull them up? No, because everybody knows this. I don't even need to bother.
Right. I wanted them to do well. I wanted people to enjoy their games. I wanted, at that time, also very critical of Monolith Soft, because I felt that Xenoblade Chronicles was a huge disappointment, the worst of the Operation Rainfall games, an extremely overhyped title on the Wii.
You know, that's where I disagree with you, Harman. Even though I did not get a Wii U at all, I heard this game was absolutely a fucking banger. And you know what? I'm going to agree with people. This game is actually pretty fun. It's better than Chronicles 1, 2, and 3, especially 3. Good God, 3 was a fucking problem.
In a lot of ways, it was a trendsetter because it kind of brought an end to the casualization of video games that we were going through in the 2000s.
Tell me you never played Call of Duty on Veteran mode. Tell me you never played Halo on Legendary Lasso mode. Please tell me you never decided to do a Nuzlocke on Pokemon. Oh, wait a minute. I know who I'm talking to. The king of the casuals.
FromSlop has indeed fallen off.
Harman, do us all a favor and get some new material, please. This is getting very, very old.
And if you're a younger player, if you're someone who didn't grow up with Dark Souls or play it when it first came out, you will understand. You cannot understand just how much of a regression something like Elden Ring actually is.
Harman, I've been playing the Souls franchise ever since Demon Souls, and ever since I played Demon Souls to Elden Ring right now, it has been nothing but a fantastic improvement over the years. I know for a fact that you don't pay attention to this stuff, even the minute details that they bring to the table. There's no way in hell you were even put into the same category as a fan as I am of From Software in their video games. Don't even try it.
There's no innovation, there's no growth, there's no change. It's the same exact thing that we've always gotten.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Harman, you literally have a fucking horse that you could traverse over the map, okay? You literally have different weapons and different bosses, and this one is a big one that separates it from the Souls games. Can you take a fucking guess? And I'm going to tell you right now, it means you could fight any bosses in order as you want, except for the logical order of it. You can literally fight any bosses pieces in any order you want. Literally.
And meanwhile, Monolith Soft has actually grown and evolved, not only with like recent titles, but even as recently as the direct follow-up to Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I don't even want to get started in how bad fucking Xenoblade Chronicles has gotten, especially 3. Good God, what was that writing? What were the villains? Like, come the fuck on. Who sat there and thought, let's make them, let's make the main character a shouting in this one. They're gonna love this one. They're not gonna be the shouting main character in this one.
At the time was written off as just being like some Wii U game, but even today, 10 years later in 2025, the game is extremely cutting edge.
I need to give you a little more context behind this. He's talking about Chronicles X, and Harman, this game feels like an MMO back from the 2010s, and that's not a bad thing, to be completely honest, but let's be honest here, they're not doing anything innovative.
Incredibly ambitious, really showcases the studio's unique strengths, and really proved that Nintendo was far and beyond what other studios were doing.
The only thing that feels very innovative and not feels like it's a fucking MMO, Harman, is the fact that you could get in mechs and fly or fucking around and attack creatures with it. That's pretty much about it.
Like, this was an open world RPG that stopped other open world RPGs.
My fucking eyes are tearing up.
Yeah, no offense to anybody that enjoyed this game really, but if I was given to the choice of playing Skyrim or fucking World of Warcraft, I'm taking those two over this one. Granted, this is still a good game, but I'm still picking the other two over this one.
You know, the fact that Nintendo could make a game bigger than Skyrim on such a shoestring budget should be a testament to just how far ahead of the rest of the industry they actually are.
You really think Chronicles X is bigger than Skyrim? Have you even played Skyrim all the way through? It takes you like literally like maybe like 30 minutes to get to an objective if you're not fast traveling. And on here, it takes me about like it took me like 2 minutes to get to this objective. When you're going from Whiterun to wherever that other objective is, like right at the beginning, it literally took me about 20 minutes to get back over to that place just by walking, Harman. Okay, don't even get me fucking started. And Chronicles over here, it doesn't have much anything going on around it versus Skyrim. Like, granted, there's some things going on in Chronicles X, but compared to Skyrim, yeah, not a chance in hell.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was the kickstart of like people beginning to realize that like Japanese RPGs were better on Nintendo consoles than other platforms.
Stop the cap.
Nah, because I know for a fact you've never played games of like Blue Dragon or Wise Origin. And most of all, I know for a fact you never played this game before, Lost Odyssey. If you guys never heard of Lost Odyssey before, you need to go watch a gameplay of it. You need to watch the beginning because it is absolutely fucking insane. I was introduced this to by my friend about a year ago. Oh my god, why didn't this game get more love from the Final Fantasy fucking community? This game was absolutely fucking cracked.
They also made Xenoblade Chronicles 3, a game that was so radically different that it put a lot of people off, but eventually, once I actually beat it, I realized it was an actual masterpiece.
Yeah, and this is coming from the dude that said Pokemon Scarlet had no issues at all, and its fucking gameplay, story, and game mechanics were absolute 10 out of 10. It just, you're really going to take the word of this guy that said there's absolutely nothing wrong with Xenoblade 3. Let me go and explain the reasons why I really disliked Xenoblade 3. The fucking combat, somehow, some way they made it even worse on that. Like, it felt like I didn't even play the game at all. It felt like I was just watching cutscenes at this moment. And the villains, oh god, the villains were forgettable, and they were just bland. They were boring. They had nothing special to them. On top of that too, the pacing, oh good god, the pacing with the characters over explaining stuff and then having to repeat the same things over and over again. It was like, Jesus, can I please play the freaking game already?
The thing about like Xenoblade Chronicles versus FromSoftware is that Monolith actually improved.
No, Harman, they've gotten worse. And Xenoblade 3 is pretty much the fucking example of it. Holy God, the writing, the characters, the over-explaining things, the combat. How could you already have a formula that really worked and resonated with people, and then you decided to fuck it all up? How could you even do that?
They actually made changes. They actually made radically different games with similar overarching gameplay mechanics and themes, with wildly different characters, with like wildly different environments and tones.
And yet when FromSoftware does it, it's a fucking sin, isn't it, Harman? It's just, it would be amazing to live in Harman Smith's fucking mind for one day.
Whereas FromSlop has just been doing the same tired thing over and over again.
I'd rather have FromSoftware do the repetitive thing over and over again versus whatever they decided to do with Xenoblade 3.
To the point where like Elden Ring's plot feels like a rehash of Dark Souls. Like, ooh, you're a guy, you're a tarnished chosen undead who has to fight all of these strong figures. Like it's just like it's the same thing.
Isn't Xenoblade the same thing though, Harman? Oh, look at me, I'm a shonen character protecting the last part of humankind in this big old city, protecting them from monsters. They're like, seriously, they're doing the same thing over and over again. At least in Elden Ring, at least we do things a lot more different than Xenoblade. Just saying, Harman.
Like it's just shocking comparing like the level of detail and visual quality of Xenoblade to something like Elden Ring, because Xenoblade does indeed look way better.
Okay, Harman, let's play by that logic then. Then please explain to me why all the characters on here, yeah, the characters that you're seeing right now, they look like they're made out of fucking clay. No, please explain to me that if this game is so fucking good with its graphics and everything.
It has way more memorable characters, way better fighting cinematography in the cutscenes, better better environments in general. Like Xenoblade just stomps FromSlop in every single way, shape, and form.
Harman, the enemies within Xenoblade are easily forgettable. Versus Elden Ring over here, you still remember the big boss's name, like Radon, Mikolai. Oh yeah, you remember those names very well, especially the Red Hood, the area where you go into, where's all the Scarlet Rot over there. Yeah, you guys remember the ones I'm talking about. Yeah, you remember going to the castle too. Yeah, I just need to put like a little tiny little description. You guys know exactly where I'm talking about. You know where the monkey is going and bringing up that nice little picture in your head now, don't you?
That is an extremely exciting thing. Fans understand the potential that Monolith has exhibited over the past decade.
Yeah, baby, with Chronicles X and 1, but for the rest of them, no, that possibility is starting to slowly fade away. It's starting to go bye-bye.
FromSlop, in comparison, is coasting along on their reputation.
Yeah, because they've got a good reputation of making really good fucking video games. Unlike a certain other studio that I'm thinking of right now that's exclusive to Nintendo called Game Freak. Yeah, they're just trucking along on the fucking Pokemon franchise, because God knows if they try to do any other game, well, let's just say it's a commercial fucking flop.
Like they're in the same position that Final Fantasy was in the 2000s, where people can't bring themselves to admit that the dream is dead.
Oh boy, this one's getting pretty fucking old, like Dreamcast saying Xbox is dead, Xbox is endgame. Xbox can't make it. Oh, FromSoftware can't make it. No, Harman, you've been saying this for years, and guess what? We're still around. The dream's still good over here, buddy. I don't know what the fuck you're smoking.
Like they cannot keep up what they're doing, because new players wouldn't be interested, and old players would get angry at them for like changing up the established formula.
Elden Ring's whole existence counters that whole fucking argument, Harman.
Right? They simply don't have the talent to do anything other than what they've been doing for the past decade. They essentially jumped on a trend before it was popular and like...
Harman, how could something be trendy but not be popular first? Like, your video has been somewhat cohesive throughout this video, but this part right here is just like, bro, what the fuck?
And I think this is why FromSlop and other studios like them are doomed to fail.
Have I ever told you guys the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, thinking, there's going to be different results. Well, Harman's been doing this for like the 3 or 4 last years that, Elden Ring has been released to the public. Yeah, he think it's going to change and be absolutely true of what he's saying, but no, I can't even compare the last times that he's compared XYZ game to Elden Ring, and it's going to kill Elden Ring. It's fucking Harman, and sometimes I wonder, I just want to live in Harman's fucking world for one fucking day. And thankfully that's all the content I got on Harman Smith coping and seething over Elden Ring for 3 years later. Yeah, this one was pretty much an interesting one, to the point it was like, you know what, screw it, I can make a video on this, because you know what, let's be honest, it's been a hot minute since I last covered Harman Smith. But anyway, fam, thank you very much for watching. I truly do appreciate it, and you appreciate this type of content, please leave a like and comment in the comment section. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys. And hey, you want more of my content, ranging from my rants, my reviews, to my, salt content, consider subscribing to the channel. Helps me grow and helps me, get me into the algorithm, say, hey, hey, YouTube, I love what Gar's doing. I want more of his content, and I want more people to see it. And you know what? By the end of this year, I want to make it to 10K. But you know what, though? You ain't got to do any of that unless you really, really liked my content. But like I always say, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video, next live stream. I don't know. See you in the next one, fam. Later.